Hello and welcome to DCP SideQuest episode number 98.
Oh, we're so close to 100. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
DCP SideQuest 98 rock. How you guys doing?
We, doing good.
Yeah.
Coming off of the charity, I feel like a new person.
Briar looks like a new person.
Briar does.
I feel
look
like a new person.
Yeah.
I've been talking to people about mohawks a lot lately. AutoZone, at Home Depot, at the what was it called? At the Smoothie King. I got my smoothie today. They're like, nice mohawk.
Yeah, I was saying on the pre-show that like I wish I had gotten footage of me doing normal things with pink hair. But the problem is it was 9 p.m. already, I was tired and there's no way I was going to put my head on the pillow with all that pink.
No.
And get it everywhere, That'd have been bad.
You don't want to sleep on a towel. Oh, so it's uncomfortable.
No, that sucks.
Yep.
It does suck.
It was midnight for me when the stream ended. But then we kind of hung out and just kind of continued to play Mario Party for a little while.
Yeah, we finished it. Hell yeah.
For a good hour, I'd say, right? It's like we kind of stayed in and just kind of finished the game up. But I was still amped, like, afterward. I didn't fall asleep until like 4 o'clock in the morning.
I couldn't. It takes a while to come down. I guess the way that you can kind of compare it is, if you do a big stage show and then you get off stage and you're still, like, buzzing for a long time after it. It's kind of like that with charity streams because you're putting on, it's not just streaming, you're putting on, like, a show and trying to drive incentives and money as much as possible.
Yeah.
So you come off of it and you're exhausted, but you're buzzing from it.
Mm-hmm.
Because raising money for charity feels good.
Yeah. It was so fun to have Fallout and Mercules come on too.
It was.
They're such good sports. Like they really put themselves through the pain. I actually want to ask them, like, how was the next day?
How was the after party?
Has Merc been on Twitter? Is he all right? He was in pain to where I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Did we mess up? Was he okay?
All right.
You might have a serious bathroom issue afterwards.
And then Ash killed it on the art as usual.
Yep.
Yes, she did indeed.
Aries was moderating and scheduling everything for us, which was awesome.
Yeah,
it really came together great. And then having Pope back.
Yeah, having Pope back was so awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, Teft.
Yes.
After seeing Pope again,
I
do think you're taller than Pope.
I think so too, right?
I think so.
I got that impression.
I did.
Yeah. Maybe it's, California versus Thailand type of thing.
That's what I'm saying. Thailand
there's more gravity.
Yeah, there's more gravity in Thailand.
More gravity.
Yeah. If you consult the flat earth specialist, apparently there's more gravity in Thailand.
Oh,
there's no such thing as gravity. I mean, that was a joke anyway. So.
That was it's all a ruse.
That was a ton of fun. Gosh. I always like those. I was nervous before the live stream, and then afterward, it's like coming down off of a high.
It really
I was nervous the whole day, man. It was so weird. I woke up and I'm like, "What's this feeling?" And I was like, "Oh, is this nerves? Am I nervous right now?" God.
Yeah, it's, you got
the flake still.
I got one flake. Actually, I bought 5 of them that day, and after the charity stream, I gave one of them to each of my kids. And I said, these are disgusting, but you can have one if you want. And they both took it. And I went downstairs to make some dinner because I hadn't eaten yet. And within 5 seconds, both of them were downstairs getting a glass of water.
You know what I think you should do, Briar? I think for the final one, you should enjoy it with some ice cream.
Yeah.
And fully embrace the flake.
Do you have do you have a Dairy Queen in your area?
Oh, yeah.
Go to the Dairy Queen, get like a soft serve ice cream, and then because the flake is basically a device to help the ice cream, right? Like it's like a
condiment for ice cream.
Yeah.
It's called in England when the ice cream truck comes along, it's called a 99er because it costs 99 pence to get a cone of just vanilla ice cream, and then they put a flake in it.
Wow, that's a good deal because each flake was like $1.70.
Yeah, 99 cents for ice cream and a flake.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Sounds like it. Yeah, it sounds delicious too.
I think I got my evening planned.
Yeah, if the flake with a nice, delicious ice cream, I'm down for that. But the flake by itself, nah. It's like Am I going to eat ketchup straight? No, of course not.
No. I love ketchup, but I don't want it straight.
No, by
straight
itself?
from the bottle.
Yuck.
Just suck it straight from the bottle.
Ugh.
Vegemite would be a good idea next year.
That would, yeah. Yep.
That would be a good
would
one.
Be good.
And
Marmite. Maybe we do both.
Marmite?
Is it Marmite or is it Vegemite? And you have to taste it and guess.
Oh, like a blind taste test?
I mean, yeah.
Those are different? Oh my God.
I don't know, actually.
Well, Ash apparently doesn't want us to do Marmite.
Vegemite and Marmite.
Debbie, I gotta say, you look good with pink hair. I was kind of hoping you were gonna just.
It looked good. Yeah, it did.
After I'd caked on enough, it started to take form and look, and I was like, okay, this is working. I'm looking like a cyberpunk character customization screen.
Character creation.
That was a good
one. You know, or it was like I'm either a character customized or creation, or I'm a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle villain. You know, both of those would.
You know what really made it look villainy? It was because you're using obviously this kind of thing that you just put in your hair, and it's just going straight up into a spike.
Yeah.
So it's not even the pink; it was the spikiness.
And that's because of how much I had to put in there to make sure the color would happen. Because, you know, the hair is somewhat darker. Yeah. It took a bit. Definitely took a bit. I had to go into the tub to get that washed out. You know? If I went in the shower, it would have been everywhere. You know? Just spraying.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I applied some thoughts, some smarts to it. Got in the tub.
Good idea. So yesterday was Father's Day. Did you guys do anything for Father's Day?
We actually went to a restaurant for the first time since COVID. We took Tomo's parents and his brother for dinner at Din Tai Fung. So
that's awesome.
That was great. That was very great. Lots of dumplings.
Yummy.
When we ordered the food, the waiter was like, "That's a lot of food. Is that okay?" I'm like,
"You're like, this is the first time in a year and a half I've been in a restaurant."
And also, I'm taking it all home with me. So
yeah, right.
Yes, this is fine.
I do that often, especially when I go get wings. I'll order a ton extra and bring them home with me. They're like a great either a lunch the next day or snack or something. Nice.
You know, I have a short little wing story that happened last night.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
So apparently, an hour after I fell asleep, I woke up, turned to Tomo, and said, "Worship cauliflower." And he's like, "Worship cauliflower," and he's like, "What?"
You know what I mean, bitch.
You worship the cauliflower now.
And then I was like, "Cauliflower tastes like wings." And he's like, "Okay, all right." And I was like, "Good night." And what happened was I was ordering Amazon Fresh groceries, and I ordered cauliflower wings. So I was like, I think I was mid-ordering and fell asleep. And then an hour later, I don't know where the worship cauliflower came from. I guess I was just really excited about the cauliflower wings.
Worship the cauliflower wings.
Those are a delicious treat. They sound disgusting, but they're actually
they are actually very, very good.
Yeah, it's like the go-to alternative if you're vegan for wings, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he was scared by someone turning over and going, "Worship cauliflower."
Immediately went to the Amazon app and added it. You're like, all right, let's make sure we get these.
I hope I don't start shopping in my sleep. That would be a bit of a nightmare to deal with.
That could be bad.
Something shows up. What's this? God damn it. Did it again. There's 8 bags of cauliflower wings.
Memes told me apparently I had woken up a couple nights ago in like one of those sleepy hazes and sleep talked and she was watching a vlog on the TV and I woke up and was like, "Whoa, what is this TV? Look at this TV. This is amazing." And I apparently went on for like a couple minutes and then she's like, "Okay, yeah, night night." And then I was like, "Night night."
Okay, good night. Okay, bye-bye.
When I get super tired, I definitely sleep talk.
My wife used to punch me in her sleep. She used to.
Damn.
It wasn't like a punch, but it was like she'd sleep kind of like with her hands up by her face. But every once in a while, she'd just go, "Ta!"
Give a jab.
It was like her arm just needed to straighten out and then come back. So we got a king bed, and that solved that problem.
Nice.
We'll just space it out a little.
Man, that's amazing.
I got tools for Father's Day. I was pretty excited.
Oh, nice.
I got some Milwaukee power tools, and today I decided to. I did the most dad thing and got the mower going. I had to replace the battery and replace the fuel in the mower to get it running. So I did dad stuff today.
Yard work Crocs.
All Crocs are yard work Crocs, but these ones that I'm wearing right now,
you're gonna use.
They're pretty good because they got good traction.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I just didn't have time to change. I ran up here.
What do people think of the Mohawk man in Crocs? Are they confused by this pollination of cultures?
I feel it's like this whole outfit just kind of goes. I got my Pride wristband on my Apple Watch, which I'm very proud of. The Mohawk, drive up in the Mustang, the black Mustang. Really, there's just a bunch of shit going on.
They're just like, what is this man? I don't know. It's very confusing.
That's great.
I like it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For us, for Father's Day, went over and my brother and his family was making pulled pork sandwiches. My dad came there, so we all hung out. It was nice. It was great.
That is a classic. The pulled pork sandwich.
Yeah, po' boys.
Did you pull it apart with a fork?
I think they did. Yeah. And then my brother said you got to put the coleslaw, homemade coleslaw, on top of it for like the like the full experience. I was like, I'm not a fan of coleslaw, but then I tried it on the sandwich and I was like, yeah, this is good. This is definitely.
I suddenly respect your brother.
He's got the smoker. He's been smoking meat for like the past couple years now. Really into it.
That's a good hobby. It's a good hobby because it's a hobby that you need to like invite your friends over and feed them, and like it's a fun thing. You know?
You become the favorite friend.
Yeah, it's great. I'm like, yeah, dude, smoke more meat.
I'll bring over a 6-pack. Yeah.
There was E3 news that we didn't get to talk about last week.
Yeah.
We definitely need to dig in.
Should we start with Nintendo?
Might as well.
Kick it off with Nintendo. Do we want to address the elephant in the room first?
Metroid?
Yeah.
A new 2D Metroid?
I am very excited for a new Metroid.
Metroid Dread, right?
Metroid Dread.
It's called Dread, and it was... I thought it looked pretty good. There has been some concern on the internet that it doesn't look as good as like a modern 2D Metroid could look.
Really?
But let's remember, it's running on the Switch, not on a PS5 or a PC, right?
Yeah, what are they like comparing to Ori or something?
I think Ori is a valid concern or a comparison. What was that new side scroller that we saw last week at E3? That looked amazing.
Replaced.
Yeah, replaced.
Yeah. You know,
replaced did look amazing.
Also, some people were concerned about the control of Samus being able to aim her cannon while running and how that would control and if it would be janky at all.
Interesting, huh?
But I mean, the game looked really good to me, and I'm very excited to get 2D Metroid because we were really focused on Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
And I'd rather get a 2D Metroid than a Prime 4 personally. Really? I know that's not a shared opinion among everybody, but like that's like my thing is I love those 2D games still.
But imagine both of them happening and still.
That's what we're getting.
Yeah, we're getting both.
We're getting both.
Prime 4, who knows? But they're like, just to let you, they're like, we want to make sure you're not concerned here. Prime 4 is still happening. It's in the works.
Yeah.
It's coming. But now let's talk about another Metroid that we have not talked about. Or I guess they did talk about it before when people thought it was canceled, right?
Prime 4?
Yeah, no, the Dread.
Oh.
Yeah, I think this game's been in the works for a while, right?
Yeah, it's been like teased a little bit here and there. Right, but I think there was something that said that it might have been shut down or like they decided to cancel it or something like that, and that was clearly wrong.
Really?
Because it's happening.
Yeah.
I was surprised that they're like, guess what? October, you're playing this game, and I was like, get out of here. This October? Okay.
This October.
I was extremely, extremely excited to see that. I was not expecting it. Remember how we've been joking about Metroid?
We have.
Yeah.
No, it's been like
the 35th anniversary.
Yeah, it's just been a joke essentially for a few announcements now, and they finally doubled down and said, yeah, man. 14 years, restarted twice. That's what Scottish Canuck said in chat. So yeah,
14 years. Whew.
Yeah, it's been. It seems like it's been an
That is
ordeal.
a long time.
That does make
Been a
you
minute.
concerned. You know, it's restarted twice, 14 years. What kind of quality are we going to get this game? And I didn't realize that people have been talking about that online. I haven't looked at the sources, what people have been saying. I mean, for me, I saw it and I was like, this looks badass. And they got those weird cutscene things that happen when you interact with one of the enemies, which I hope you can skip, because initially it'll be cool, but afterwards you'll get sick of it and be like, skip. You know?
Yeah. If you don't one shot every boss that you come up to, you're gonna get bored of seeing those cutscenes.
Yep.
What else did we see from Nintendo? We saw the Zelda stuff. There's actually a lot of Zelda stuff, right?
Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild 2, another gameplay
trailer. Pretty big deal.
You saw water moves going through rock.
Yep.
Wait, they basically said or showed that it's going to be a lot of sky stuff, like sky islands and all that. And they said
that's cool.
Yeah, it's over Hyrule. They've expanded Hyrule by adding these sky islands. Do you think they're going to keep the original? Like
the original Hyrule?
Yeah, the original map.
I'd like to see all new stuff.
Well, apparently it's the islands.
Yeah.
So maybe.
I'd rather get all new stuff, though. I don't want to be re-exploring Hyrule to get to the islands or something like that.
Agreed. What if they made you continue your save? They would never do this, but like, let's just imagine.
That would be dope, actually.
Because
I think that'd be actually pretty cool.
What if you actually collected all those Korok seeds, 999 of them?
Right. That would be awesome. But I agree with you. They wouldn't do that. Yeah. I don't know if any company will ever do that after what kind of happened with what was that game? That 3-game series, Mass Effect. Thank you. That Biomass Effect.
That game. I remember that game.
Bioshock into Mass Effect.
That ended up to be so difficult, like for the second and third game, that I don't know that any game will ever kind of try that
the
again.
Continuation of what your story has done and all that. Yeah.
And your game save, like you're pulling data out of the game save to like show the decisions that you made.
Well, according to Forcado in chat, he said they're pretty sure they confirmed the map is going to be the same as Breath of the Wild, but with the added sky areas and then lots of changes.
All right.
Interesting. So again,
hard to call it a 2 then. It sounds more like an expansion.
It does sound like an expansion, right? I think if it was Zelda Breath of the Wild Skylands, like that would be a cool DLC and people would be very happy with that.
Yeah.
Adding the 2, I think people tend to expect an entire new journey and a new area, new space. But it depends how much they've changed, right? It depends how much they've changed of the original map.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they do mechanically. I don't know. That'd be interesting to find out.
Yeah, like how much of the
that was
original
the
map
joy
do you
of
have
that.
to go down to?
That was the joy of that game, was exploring, right? It's like they just made exploring so good.
Yeah.
In a time where most open world games were just like markers on a map and you'd set a GPS to just guide you there. Breath of the Wild really broke that mold and just really brought back that feeling of exploration from the earlier games, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and it was so dense with stuff. There was always something to discover no matter where you went.
Yeah.
And that was definitely part of the charm and the discovery and all that. Like, a little bittersweet that they are going to use the same exact map and it's going to be kind of an expansion type of thing. But maybe they're going to do some massive change-ups. Maybe the whole world got like jumbled and it's a whole spit up thing. And, you know, they got that water ability that they showed. So maybe that's going to be like integrated into a bunch of areas on the main map. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like,
we got
we'll
some.
see.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
We got some other Zelda news as well. Did they look at Skyward? They showed more of Skyward Sword, right? I'm not making that up.
Re-releasing Skyward Sword, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they showed a little bit more of that. They also showed the Game & Watch, this Legend of Zelda Game & Watch. It's going to include Legend of Zelda 2, Link's Awakening, and some kind of weird Game & Watch game.
Yeah, that was a super
Did you guys buy the Mario one?
Mario
Game & Watch that came out
not.
earlier this year or last year.
No, I loved those though. Like as a kid, I had a massive bag of them, and anytime we went anywhere in the car, I was like, "Get the bag, Bob! I need the whole bag of these things." It's one game per thing, so it's like
it puts the Nintendo in the bag.
Man, I freaking love those things. Those were great.
I thought this was kind of neat. You know, you get that
neat.
original Game Boy game. You also get Legend of Zelda 1 and 2. It's just kind of a neat little collectible. I don't know that I'd play any of those games to completion on this thing.
Yeah.
But my Mister is broken, so
you broke your Mister?
Maybe
the Mister.
Are you a little too rough with your Mister?
I might have been. You know, I've been playing with my Mister a lot lately, and actually the memory went bad, so I had to order a new memory. I don't know what's going to show up because I had to order it from like Portugal or something. I'm not exactly sure where I ordered it from.
Unfortunate. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too. It's no fun having a broken Mister. Let me tell
you. Did you see that Wario game?
Yeah, Wario. It's a new Warioware, right?
Yeah.
People are looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Warioware games are fun.
Yeah, I haven't played much WarioWare.
I haven't played it.
I haven't played it since the original Wii. Yeah. They are weird. They're just like kind of like a bunch of mini games that are all just kind of weird. And
okay,
it's good to sit on the couch. It's a little bit like Mario Party, but more weird.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of more off kilter.
Interesting. Speaking of Mario Party, now that we just bought a brand new copy of Mario Party, they announced a new Mario Party coming out this fall.
Yes. Yeah. We should play that.
We should play that too.
Although it might take years to add multiplayer to it. So.
Oh, right. You don't think they're going to have that?
Have it out of the box?
I hope so. I mean, Mario Party didn't. It took them a long time to add the ability to play online with people. So I hope they do. Maybe there's like beer pong or something in there. You know what? You know how to make Mario Party even better? With drinking games.
Yeah.
Okay. Sold.
Yep.
Done.
DCP does drinking games. It writes itself.
You take a shot if you steal coins. You take a shot if you get a star. Take a shot if you land on unlucky.
If you land on a bad square. Take a shot if you get an item.
If you roll a 3, take a shot.
They added Kazuya from Tekken into what's the name of that game for kids? The fighting game?
Super Smash Brothers.
Yes, Super Smash Brothers. And he tried to kill Kirby, but you can't kill Kirby. Kirby's a god.
Yeah,
tried to throw him off a cliff.
Or
Tekken style.
Yes, I did see him holding him. He was my first video game crush. Wait, was he the first?
Kirby?
Yes,
Kirby.
Yeah. That's how I liked Pink. I was like, man, Kirby is rocking.
Kirby's got it going on.
Kirby's got a dump truck back there.
I'll give you something to suck.
That's what all the kids said to Kirby back in the day.
Yep. Kazuya. How do you say his name? Kazuya.
Well, how is it spelled, Brian? You just sound it out. You just sound it out.
Kazuya. That's really the problem. Kazuya.
What?
Kazuya.
Where are you getting Kazuya from?
Yeah, where's the I?
What?
The Y.
Yeah, but there's a U before it.
Yeah.
Kazuya?
Like guy. Guy. You ever heard of that word? And we use it every once in a while.
You got a point on that one, yeah.
That's true. I don't know what else happened at E3. Didn't we cover like most of it? Because the Xbox show was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nintendo was pretty big too. I mean, some heavy hitters. Yeah. They showed a roadmap of like kind of the year kind of closing out and then like kind of looking into 2021 or 2022 and 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And there was more stuff there than I really had thought. Like it looked pretty interesting. I'm really looking forward to Mario Golf. We've talked about that tons.
When is Mario Golf coming out?
I think it's like this month or next month. I think it's next month.
I thought it was this month, and that's why I was like,
coming.
Yeah, because I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. We have actually a backlog of stuff we could talk about. To be honest with you, I want to talk about Guilty Gear Strive a little bit.
Right.
Yep. I know you guys have played Ratchet and Clank. I haven't played that yet. I've only kind of like
I haven't
watched
finished it
you guys
yet.
play it, honestly. So what do you guys think about? I mean, we talked about Ratchet a little bit last week, but how you guys feeling about it so far?
It's great. There's many times in that game where I'm like, this is a video game that I'm playing.
Yeah, it's like you're playing a Pixar game.
It really is. If Pixar got into game development, this is what they would make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful.
I have seen I have bought the game. I haven't even installed it on my PlayStation yet. I've just been so busy. But I have seen some 4K videos that not on YouTube. It was like a Patreon that they had the 4K videos uploaded to. That game is too good for streaming services. Like it just doesn't come through.
Yeah.
And I think that we're going to have this problem for a little while anyway with these games. It's hard to tell why they look so good. I think Ratchet and Clank does a better job at this just because there's so much dynamically happening. Like there is a lot happening between riffs, and just the amount of like stuff on the screen is so hectic and colorful. But like when you look at it like live in front of you, and then when you look at a YouTube video or a Twitch stream, it doesn't come through with the clarity. Right. And I'd really like to see YouTube and Twitch kind of up their game a little bit.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna have to at some point.
Yeah. Twitch seems to really lag behind on that stuff. Like I'm pretty sure you can stream at 4K on YouTube already at like some crazy,
you can, at
like a high bit rate, right?
No, before Mixer went away, they actually had the best bit rate that you could stream at. They allowed you to have crazy bit rate.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was one of the perks, was that Mixer streams just looked really good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah. Twitch has historically lagged behind on the technology side of things.
And the DMCA side.
Yeah, oh God, the DMCA
side. So, like, do you guys feel like this is really the showpiece for the PlayStation 5 that
I think so.
we expected it to be?
This is, if you told me this was a technical test game just to kind of show you what the PlayStation could do, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But it's a full game, which is really something special. It's kind of a game that I would expect to see in maybe 2 years on the new gen consoles. But it's here right away.
2 years from now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a game right out of the gate. I know that it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive, so they're able to really hone in on, you know, the hardware. But it does get me very excited for, I mean, this could be the standard of just all games in a couple of years.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
I mean, the problem, though, is that with the fidelity being increased and pushed so hard with like that level, I'm sure it just takes insane amounts of time to get everything polished to that point, because that's what you're seeing is a huge amount of polish. The game just feels and looks really good. Like everything, the music, the sound effects, the visuals, the ray tracing is working. It's like, it's a gorgeous game. And like, I don't think that's easy by any means for developers to hit that mark.
Not easy.
Yeah.
No.
Like, I guess that's my concern with like the more fidelity that we're getting on this stuff. I feel like it's pushing the development time even further for some of these games that are looking so good.
Maybe that's why Sony has been streamlining their studios, is because they know it's going to take a colossal effort to get stuff looking as good as it can. And, you know, even with the DualSense, like using all that stuff, like all that extra development time, maybe they're just like, look, we're going to be able to do like fewer games, but the few games that we do are going to be like this super high quality, you know, but
yeah. So for E3, we had no PlayStation news because they chose to bow out of E3, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. And is there an event that they've scheduled like in July or August or something like that for PlayStation?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm really curious about that, what they have, or maybe they're just going to skip this year because it's really difficult to keep up with demand at the moment for the PlayStations, and they're just plugging away at making software. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. At this point in time, now that it's been over half a year with the next generation, that's now current generation, how do you guys feel about the options?
I find it to be somewhat underwhelming. And I know I was lucky enough to get both the Xbox and the PlayStation on launch. And I was really excited to do so because I'm a massive nerd.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got them, there was basically 2 games I really wanted to play on the PlayStation 5, and that was Godfall and Demon Souls.
Mm-hmm.
And I played those. And since then, both my Xbox and my PlayStation have pretty much taken a backseat. Because I've mentioned it a bunch of times, but I got really into Street Fighter V.
Right.
I've been playing that mainly on PC. Now I'm playing Guilty Gear, and now I'm playing that on PlayStation 5. So that's been nice. But really, they've been almost dormant in my office for the better part of the time they've been here.
I feel like I've played a decent amount of PS5 because we had Demon Souls, and I played through Godfall. I played through I'm not done, but I'm playing through the Yuffie DLC, which is only on PlayStation 5. Ratchet and Clank, and then Returnal. Returnal was awesome. So I think I've gotten so far. I feel pretty happy with having the PS5. I don't at the moment have a reason to turn on the Xbox, but I think I will soon when all those new games come out. I'm gonna want to play them on Game Pass.
Yeah, how do you feel? How do you feel about the announcement with like all that stuff coming to Game Pass and also Xbox? Like some of them are console exclusive or Xbox exclusive, type of stuff with the Game Pass. Like, do you think that changes your perspective with the next gen hardware at all?
It's hard because PlayStation makes the games I like.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like they make the games that I want to play, and ultimately, a lot of them are exclusive. Luckily, Elden Ring is not. Elden Ring is coming out everywhere, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do make the games that I like, but. I'm excited to set up the Xbox in here. I hadn't even thought of it before, actually. Before the Xbox conference, I was like, yeah, if something comes out on Xbox, I'll bring it in here. It's fine. But now I'm like, I want to have one set up because of all those games coming to Game Pass on day one. Because that's kind of been my issue is sometimes it wouldn't be on day one that they come on Game Pass. Sometimes they're only on the console Game Pass and not the PC Game Pass. And I'm just confused and don't know what's happening. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, as a regular,
I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful for the future of Xbox, and I'm really hyped about Game Pass. Right now, there's just not a ton of shit I've been playing on there. It's just part of that is honestly is that anybody who's listened to the show for a long time knows I had a back injury that was basically a year and a half of me being like pretty locked down. And that's over now. Like, I'm feeling much better. So I've got so much shit to do to catch up, like, around the house stuff that I just been going nuts. Like, fixing the mower today. I spent most of my day fixing a mower that hasn't run in 2 years because I haven't been able to do it. I just have not been able to do it, So, like,
oh, man.
Partially, that's just my situation, not necessarily Xbox's fault or PlayStation's fault.
I was going to say that for the general gaming box that's set up in front of the living room TV, the Series X has been awesome for that. Like it's a great console for a whole plethora of options, especially with Game Pass, because I definitely don't want to buy all these games 100%. I want to try out some of them. Some of them I'm only going to play for an hour. Some of them I'm going to play a lot. And like the ones I do play a lot, I might buy full out to support the developers. But it's true. Like the PlayStation side, you get really great software, but it does not happen too often. Like we had Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, and then Demon Souls before that. Like,
yeah,
those are great titles. But like, let's say if I'm just playing Destiny, I mean, next season in Destiny, you're gonna have crossplay, so it doesn't matter what console you get.
Yes!
Doesn't matter. Yeah, I know.
Because like historically, it's been play where your friends are at. Well, that's beginning to phase out. I mean, if you play Warzone, you can play on whatever console you want. You can play with your friends on there. Same thing, like if you're playing Fortnite, if you're playing Destiny
Apex.
Apex. If you're playing Destiny next season, then you'll be able to forget what console you're on and just join up. So it's really now becoming more of how hardcore of a PlayStation exclusive gamer you are versus
I am. That's me.
versus all the other options that you might get with Game Pass.
I kind of have to agree with Watts there. It's like when they hit so hard with their exclusives, like stuff like Ghost of Tsushima, God of War. I can't think of them right now because I'm blanking out. But there's just been so many over the past few years that have just like they've been must-play games. Final Fantasy VII remake, Horizon. Like there's just been so many.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I buy PlayStations, because of the exclusives. Everything else I'll play on Xbox or PC, no problem. And I actually prefer the ecosystem over there because it feels a little more open. Like I feel like if I, with Game Pass, if I get a game on Game Pass, a lot of times the save will share between PC and Xbox, which is super convenient. So I can play in the living room or in the office, and not have to worry about moving saves around. Or I love that kind of stuff, and that's just stuff that doesn't really work on PlayStation platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I guess we'll know more about this whole talk that we're having when Sony has their event that is rumored to be happening in about 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you found they do have an event.
Great. Yeah.
So that's gonna be awesome. See what's upcoming on PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm really interested because there's a bunch of question marks there. Like, when is the new God of War coming? When is the new? When is their new stuff coming?
Did you see the rumor about Bloodborne?
No, what's happening now?
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily a rumor or whatnot, but like basically they said that a 2 is not coming. Bloodborne 2 is not in the works. It's not happening. FromSoft prefers to make new IPs right now, hence Elden Ring and all that. However, a new remaster in 4K is coming that apparently is going to be really good, but it's not developed by FromSoft or Deep Blue. Is that what it was? What was the other one?
They were the Blue Point.
Yeah. The one that did Demon Souls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Apparently. Now, this is like reading stuff on the internet. So, take it with a grain of salt. But I find that interesting. I at least the 4K 60 FPS version for Bloodborne, if they announce that 2 weeks.
That's what we need.
Saying like, hey, we got this coming as well. This is coming in the fall. Elden Ring is coming, next year. Like, that would be great. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Oh, and also PC as well, I believe. That was part of the rumor as well, that it's coming to PC.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But there's been a ton of rumors about that stuff, and that's kind of been on and off.
We'll see.
That's an instant buy. If they make it, that's an instant buy for me.
Same.
Like, hopefully they do as good a job as they did with Demon Souls, or Blue Point did with Demon Souls, or now I don't even know what they're called.
Whoever did Demon Souls. But apparently it's not FromSoft or that company. It's another company.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Okay. But like, if it's of equal quality to that remake or reissue or whatever,
that'd be incredible.
Then it's an instant buy and a full playthrough again.
Yep.
Because like, I love that game, but man, I had some serious problems with the frame rate, like to the point where it would make me nauseous.
Yeah, understandable.
Which was really a downer.
Continuing on the rumor mill track before we move on from that.
Yeah.
Did you see the other rumor about EA restoking a franchise? And we don't know what franchise, but people are like, oh, is Dead Space coming? Are we getting a new Dead Space?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so the issue with this is that they completely disbanded. They consumed the guts of the company that made Dead Space. So that does not exist anymore whatsoever.
Those guys are somewhere else now. I can't remember what studio they kind of.
Well, they got rid of the studio.
Consumed.
Yeah,
they got consumed, but the people in charge kind of left EA after that and started a new studio. I can't remember what they were though.
Yeah. So like, it's bittersweet. If they do have a new Dead Space in the works, that'd be amazing, because I love that series. Dead Space 1 and 2 is just an incredible gaming experience. But who's in charge, and are they really like giving it the proper Dead Space experience if there is a new coming?
Hard to say.
There are ways that like new blood can make of a good spiritual sequel, right?
Definitely.
It's like, hey, we were fans of this because the first game is how old now? That was an Xbox 360 game, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's got to be pretty old at this point. So there's people that are probably playing that in high school that are now, of the age that they're making games. That could be a really cool experience to see, like, kind of what a fan took out of that. So that's 13 years ago.
Yeah,
it's a long time. So I mean, there's definitely a place where people could come from and really add to and really distill what they loved about the original franchise and make something new. But with EA at the helm, you never know what you're going to get, right? Are you getting something that is made by fans, or are you getting something that is made because there's dollars to be made, right?
What if they revitalized Anthem? They made an Anthem.
Maybe that's what it is.
I'm 100% on board. Sign me up. I want more Anthem.
A beloved franchise brought back from the dormant sleep.
I love my IGN 6 out of 10s. You know that.
Telling you, we made a whole career out of a 6 out of 10 video game. So
That's
we are
true.
the masters of 6 out of 10.
That's right. Real quick, I want to talk about Guilty Gear Strive a little bit. I've been playing a good amount of that. I bought it on PC and I bought it on PlayStation 5. I gotta say, this is possibly the best. It's probably the best looking fighting game I've ever seen. On a
it's
TV.
Crazy looking.
It does not come through as well on YouTube videos or Twitch streams as it does when it's like right in front of you. It's just on the PlayStation 5 running at 4K 60 frames per second. It's just so spectacular looking. It's kind of insane. It's also really well done in the fact that if you've never played a Guilty Gear game or you've never played a fighting gear game, there is a great training mode that's really going to get you into it. And it's actually a kind of a fun training mode. There's a full story mode, which I haven't done yet, but there's a full story mode in there. And the Guilty Gear story is batshit anime crazy.
Perfect.
The character designs are super cool. Like there's this like doctor who carries a giant scalpel. He's got a bag over his head. There's this girl who is the captain of a pirate airship, and she has a giant anchor that she swings like a club almost. Like it's a giant anchor. It probably weighs like 7,000 pounds, right? But she's swinging around like no problem. And she can shoot dolphins at you. It's really spectacular looking. It's really fun. The moves are really easy to pull off. It's not like one of those games that you have to hit the timing of like a fireball perfectly, or it doesn't come out. It's pretty forgiving in all that way. It also teaches you combos, and the combos start off pretty easy. Like 3 buttons in a row is gonna easily get you a combo that does pretty good damage. All the characters do a lot of damage, so the rounds end fast. The matchmaking, though, is pretty good, and it's pretty easy to... It's got this cool thing where you start off in hell, and you got to work your way up levels to heaven. And like it just is very similar to how like Street Fighter is like starts you off at bronze, and then you can move up to silver, and then to gold, and then move. But this is visually done in this kind of 2D art style way. This game is super fun, man. I've only been playing it for a total of probably 5 days because I didn't get on it like day one.
Yeah,
but it's really beautiful. It's just astoundingly good looking.
Yeah, they're very good games.
And it's really fun to play.
What platform's on it?
PlayStation. It's on all the PlayStations, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. It's on PC. I don't know if it's on Xbox or not, to be honest. I don't think it is. I would have to double check. But like if you're new to fighting games, they specifically made this game to kind of be a good on-ramp. Not on Xbox. They made this game to be a good on-ramp for new fighting game people, so it's not going to be ultra complex. But there is depth there. So if you get into it, there is stuff you can learn and to master. And they're going to be supporting this game. So they're going to start putting new characters in it and stuff like that. It's sold super well. Way better than any other Guilty Gear game in the past.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really interesting that there's a lot of Japanese games, especially Japanese games, that are now trying to make themselves more approachable for Western audiences, or just audiences that haven't played them before. And I think it really comes from Monster Hunter World. I think they really shook up the whole gaming industry where it's like, see, you can, change a couple things. You can still keep your game fundamentally what it is, but, you introduce these things to get people into your series and release it in the West at the same time. And you can be a best-selling video game by doing that.
Yeah, I feel like it's an untapped market for a lot of games.
It is. I mean, even like Neo, right? They don't advertise their game over here. They just don't. Yeah. You don't see any advertisement for it at all. And they're like, hey, we sell good in Japan, so we don't really care. But yeah, there's Monster Hunter World made a big difference. It's really cool to see because like the Tales series, Tales of Arise, that's launching at the same time as it is in Japan, whereas before normally it's a staggered release. So I thank you, Monster Hunter World, because we're gonna get a bunch of games that either never came or took forever to come. Over to the West. It's great.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I never thought of that, Watts, but that's a really good point. Is Monster Hunter World really by kind of simplifying things enough to kind of like let you get into it without being like bombarded with like tutorials and everything?
Yeah.
Like even the Switch version of Monster Hunter World, I don't think it's as good as World was.
It's not as good as of an onboarding experience for a brand new player. Yeah. World really did a good job with that.
They nailed it. I can't wait for World 2.
Cool.
On the new consoles. Ooh.
But yeah, Guilty Gear Strive, definitely check it out. It's really good.
Yeah, I might have to pick that up. It sounds fun.
Yeah, try it out.
It is fun.
I have been playing demos. I'm obsessed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how many demos I've downloaded. A lot. I've just been sitting there like, oh, download that. Download that.
Can we get some perspective on why the number of demos?
So currently there is something on Steam happening called Steam Next Fest, which runs from June 16th to June 22nd. So it is ending tomorrow. And it's essentially just a bunch of games that are coming out soon. Either they have a release date, they have a 2021 release date, or it's just to be determined. And they've all put out demos for this 1 week. So there's just an absolute crazy amount of demos.
That's cool.
It's very cool. I found, yes.
Yeah, what's the top? Like the cherry pickings.
I found a game that was not on my radar at all. I never heard of it. Didn't know a damn thing about it. But it was like, okay, it's similar to games you've played, Dark Souls 3 and Sekiro. I'm like, okay, what's this? And it's a Metroidvania, Souls-like dark fantasy platformer.
What's it called?
And I was like, it's called Grime. So if you want to look at a trailer for Grime, so I loaded up this game and I was like, okay, it's got all of these tags or things that I like. And I loaded it up and it looks really polished. The animations are very smooth, very cool looking. Combat feels amazing. And what really got me with this game is they use the parry as a completely different system in their game. So you can parry to absorb the enemy that is attacking you. And when you absorb a certain amount of a specific enemy, you gain their ability to use in the game.
Oh, that's cool.
It's very, very cool.
Castlevania-ish.
It feels really good. It is a great feeling game. It just felt really polished. So I was like, I can't believe I hadn't heard of this game at all. And it's like, it looks great. It performs great. I love the concepts that they're doing. It's really good. It's now pretty up there with games that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it looks really
cool.
You
know what? This reminds me a lot of Blasphemous, and that has a similar description to it.
Yep. Yeah, it's all those kind of games, those like platformer type of games that are set up like that. I'm all in on those games for indie developers because it's very hard to make a good feeling, good looking like 3D game. So getting these like very highly polished, super fun combat is great. Is great. I love it. So that was probably the one that stood out for me the most, although I have a lot left to play. I did play Idol Manager, which don't know if you guys want to play that.
Idol Manager?
You manage a group of idols. And it's actually like a really in-depth management game. There's like, you have to manage their depression, their emotional levels, their physical levels. You have to hire people like producers and choreographers. You have to do auditions for idols and they all have different stats. Like it's really in depth. It's actually really good. So I might actually play that in my downtime when it comes out. But some other ones that were pretty cool that I haven't checked out yet, but just by looking at them, they look crazy. One that I think you guys might like visually is called Song of Iron. Song of Iron. And it's an action adventure side scroller 2.5D, which is the same type of thing that replaced is doing. It's a similar type of graphic, and it just looks beautiful. I've heard that combat is a lot
nice,
like
right?
I know, right? Visually looks awesome. I've heard that the combat is like they're trying to go with a more realistic thing, so it's more slow and methodical, and the weapons are heavy. But I'm gonna check that out today because visually this thing looks
that
nuts.
jump kick. Oh, this looks good.
It looks nuts, right?
Yeah, I gotta download this right now.
Nuts.
Kind of looks like Valheim in 2.5D.
It's crazy, right? It's crazy. The other one that I think you guys would dig the way it looks as well is called They Always Run, which is another side-scroller 2D platformer. Game just visually looks very cool. It's got the kind of pixely graphics, but the animations are super smooth and cool looking. So I want to check that out as well. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, looks cool too.
There is a lot of games to play, and these games, none of these were didn't know any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know a single one.
Oh man!
So take a look. If
you just
if
turned
you have
me on to a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah,
it's
seriously.
really cool. This and it's been so fun just going from like demo to demo to demo and just trying it out on stream and just trying a bunch of different genres. It's been really fun. So if you are interested, you have a day to. I don't know if some of these demos are going to stick around. They might. Maybe they're just being highlighted during the Steam Next Fests. I'm not entirely sure.
Like, is there any reason for them to take them away?
I hope not.
Yeah,
because there's a lot that I still want to check out. But yeah,
This looks sick.
Yeah, this game looks really
there's
cool.
so many that are good. I know. I can't wait. I can't wait to keep playing. And there's things like, there's cozy management type of games. There's chill, like relaxing exploration games. I played the Sable demo. I don't know if you guys have seen Sable. It's like that very stylized game that normally shows a character on like a little chug-a-chug bike
Little chugga-chug
in a desert. Little chug-a-chug bike in the desert. Tried that one out, and it's very much so like the chill, relaxing, just go and explore the world type of thing, which can be fun sometimes.
Cool. Oh, I see. Yeah.
So yeah, go take a look. Oh, Death Trash. Death Trash, Briar this is your game. Death Trash is you get to puke on things and pick it up and use it to lubricate machinery.
Well, that's convenient.
There's a meat octopus. It's made of meat.
Octopus,
Just like
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
Death Trash. I think you dig it. But that is an action strategy RPG. There's also co-op in it. But it's it doesn't take itself very seriously, even though there's a lot of blood and gore and stuff. They make it kind
I
of
like that. That could be fun.
Yeah.
Like what was that Theme Hospital game that came out a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that could just be goofy and fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
this looks like Fallout, kind of.
Looks very fun.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many that like are genuinely good games that I'm really looking forward to them releasing.
Mm-hmm.
So I love this. I love that Steam did this like, this big demo thing. And if you go on the page because on Steam there is a page specifically for the Next Fest, and you can search for action, adventure, strategy, simulation, and see what they have there, and just scroll, see if anything takes your fancy.
Cool.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Tekken 7 is 85% off.
Wow. Oh yeah, there was also the Bandai Namco sale. So that was a thing. I picked up Dark Souls 2 on Steam for $9, I want to say.
With the DLCs too?
I don't know if I had the DLCs of Dark Souls 2. But yeah, there was the Bandai Namco sale, and Bandai Namco has published a lot of the Souls games. So, and Code Vein. You can get Code Vein as well. Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. My wish list is now massive. I'm now addicted to downloading demos.
That's really cool. I like that whole concept. Just have like a festival of a bunch of demos to try out.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, really, really cool.
It's super cool. And then there's also games that I didn't see in my list when I was scrolling, and people were like, "Oh, did you check this game out?" I'm like, "What is that? I didn't even see that in the list." And I look at it and I'm like, "Oh my god. Yes, I would like to play that."
That's
So
cool.
I've got a bunch of recommendations of other things to play today, which I'm very excited about.
You should make like a top 5 picks from the fest.
I can definitely do that. I will.
Cool.
Oh, I am going to spend some money today.
What are you buying, Brian? What'd you get your
Well, I
eyes
just
on?
saw that Namco sale.
Yep.
There's a few games in there.
There is.
There's Project Cars 2, which is a VR compatible racing game.
Nice.
Yep. Little Nightmares 2, which is a game that I've wanted to play. Soul Calibur 6 is $9 as opposed to $60.
Yeah.
I think I have all the Dark Souls games already, but I will probably just double check. Tekken 7 is $6, which I don't have on PC. I also don't have Dragon Ball Fighters on PC. I have it on Switch, which was kind of a mistake.
Yeah, lots of cool games. If you have the time to, guys, just go check it out. Check out the Steam Next Fest, see if anything catches your eye, and give it a try. Because demos aren't super long a lot of the time, unless you're playing Idle Manager. They let you play for like 60 days in the game. There's
Managing
no limit to what you can do. It's just like play the game.
Wow.
I was like, it was taking a long time, but I'm happy to say that our group Kazuya, named after the I'm here to kill chaos, dying chaos. Our second single made it to number 16, so I'm gonna say we're doing pretty good.
Sounds good. Yeah.
We're doing great.
That just reminded me of the Final Fantasy VII DLC.
Yes.
Did we talk about that last week? We didn't talk about it last week because it wasn't out yet.
No, because of E3.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. Watts, you played it all the way through, right?
I think I'm almost at the end. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm like very close to the end. It's great. Yuffie is amazing. She's just such a good, fun character. Do you guys remember Fort Condor?
No.
Well, it's like a mini game, and they've put it in this DLC, so you can like challenge people to play Fort Condor, and you could get like different units and stuff. It's really good. It's like Fort Condor. I'm like, guys, I know we're playing Final Fantasy, but I need to go challenge this master rank
Gwent.
Fort Condor. Okay.
Gwent in Final Fantasy, essentially.
It's addicting. It's really good.
How long is the DLC?
I think they said it's about, I want to say 5 or 6 hours ish.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm currently at 5 hours, and I'm not done yet.
5 or 6 hours if you don't play Fort Condor.
I played Fort Condor, and I'm at 5, but I don't know how much is left. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
What's the pricing structure on that? Because you have to get the PS5 version of the game. Is that right?
You can only play the Yuffie DLC on PS5. Yeah.
Okay. And if I bought the game on PS4, so do I have to rebuy it on PS5?
No. The base game of Final Fantasy VII Remake you just get for free the upgrade, and then the Yuffie DLC is $20.
And so you just buy it on the PlayStation 5 store. Okay, cool. $20. Okay, that seems fair for 6 hours of content.
Cool. And it's like really well done too. Like it's really good.
Is it standalone, or do you have to have a save already for
You don't need a save.
Okay, yeah.
I'm definitely going to do that because I really enjoyed the remake.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the remake's very good.
It visually also, is there any like upgrades visually with
it looks better. Yeah, it definitely looks better.
Cool.
You can it's pretty obvious right away. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that because I wasn't able to play the final. Was I able to play the Final Fantasy Origin demo last week? I don't think so.
When did they fix that?
They fixed it. I don't remember what day. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. I haven't played it.
Yeah, I will. We can talk about that next week.
Yep.
Is that a limited time demo? Do I need to jump on that right away?
I think it's until the 24th.
Oh,
time's
so I
coming
gotta
up.
jump on it like right away.
Yeah.
It's not super long. It's a good demo because you can farm in it and you can start like looking for builds if like you really want to enjoy the demo like that, and you can upgrade all of your classes and stuff. But if you're just playing through it, as long as you don't get your ass slapped.
How's the combat?
Combat is phenomenal.
Okay.
Really, really good.
This
The
sounds
only
great.
thing, well, apparently they extended it to the 26th. That does make sense because of all the issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, the combat, that's really all I wanted to know. Like it's Team Ninja, so I just assumed that the combat would be good. But visually, people were like, this looks a bit weird. And it still does have a ways to go visually. The game's coming out sometime in 2022. We don't know when.
Okay.
But the combat is very, very good. They've done a perfect mix of Neo and Final Fantasy and put it together.
Oh my
It's
God.
a Souls Final Fantasy.
That's exactly what I wanted.
I know. It's a Souls Final Fantasy. It's kind of all my dreams come true. I tweeted at Team Ninja and said, I love you. And then they responded back and they followed me. So
did they say I love you back?
They did hearts.
Yeah, say it back.
Or did they say I know?
Yeah, they should have said I know. They should have. I really think so with this demo, really quick. So visually, it definitely it doesn't look as good even as Neo 2 or even Neo 1. Okay. And like those games, they've made them look good. Like Neo 2 launched on PS4, 60 FPS, looked great. I really think the reason they released this demo when they did is because it's like, listen, it's a little bit different for Final Fantasy. They seem to be really concerned that people are not going to really get it because they know it's a very different direction for a Final Fantasy game. So I think this was literally just, here's the combat, here's how the loot's going to work, here's like a taste of the jobs. So if you play that, you get a good idea of what you're getting, what the game is given to you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. And they also, there's a survey at the end, so they definitely want feedback on stuff. But yeah, the combat's great. It just felt great. I was very happy.
That's cool. I like it when they, they're getting to a certain place and they need some feedback, so they put it out there and say, hey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us what you think. Yeah, it's cool. Awesome. Yeah. Well, that's quite a bit for the week.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of stuff.
And Scarlet Nexus is coming out on the 25th. I know Eric's is going to be playing it. I'm going to be playing it. So we'll probably talk about it next week.
We'll deep dive into that, yeah. Cool. Yeah. Is that SideQuest? Have we completed our SideQuest?
I think so.
I think so.
I think so.
Well, thank you very much for hanging out, watching, listening, wherever you're streaming or listening on a podcast. We really appreciate the support. Shout out to our Patreon members. Shout out to our Twitch subs. And shout out to everyone who's just chilling with us. So we appreciate it all, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Watts, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Just look for Miss 5000 Watts. And I'm going to be playing a bunch of demos today until I have to go eat dinner. So
nice.
We're going to check out Song of Iron. Very excited to play that.
Nice.
I'm going to play.
Real quick thing is that we have changed podcast like homes, right? It's like nothing on like nothing on your end is going to change other than the fact that they do ads differently, and it looks like there's more of them. Mm-hmm. However, if that bugs you, we are now I'm in charge of this. So if I mess up, just tweet me and I will fix it. But we are now uploading all the podcasts audio form with no ads in it to our Patreon. Yep. Which you do have to pay for to get, but if
the $5 tier or higher on that,
yeah. So, if it's worth it to you not to have ads, you can go to the Patreon and get an ad-free version in that manner.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, again, this is new. I started it last week, so I think the last two podcasts are like that on the Patreon. Well, DCP is always like that because we do the extended version, but the most recent Firing Range is like that. This show will be like that. Retro Slot will be like that. They'll all be like that. If I miss one, just shoot me a tweet and I will fix it as soon as I can.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, and we appreciate you guys, stumbling through with us on the changeover because there was a few things on making that happen.
Yeah, it's definitely it's tough. But this is gonna ultimately enable us to pay a lot more people and pay people more money. Like I want to give the firing range guys whatever they want after that damn firing range episode. Yeah, so it's good, and it's all gonna go back into producing the show and doing cool things. So thank you for supporting it and understanding.
Yeah, thank you guys, and that's it. That's SideQuest.
That's
we
it,
will see
everybody.
you for another episode soon. Bye, everyone.
All right, bye.